I just thought it was a terrific college basketball game. Um, Texas Tech is obviously one of the elite programs in the country right now. Coach Beard and his time there has, I mean, there's been turnarounds in many programs throughout college basketball where he's in Texas Tech at a point where they were good, but for him to do what he's done in his time is short of really unbelievable. He deserves all the credit that he gets for being one of the elite coaches in the country. They got a terrific team, but I'm really proud of the way our kids competed against them today for 40 minutes. Things didn't always go exactly how we wanted to, but we showed the type of resiliency and competitive spirit that will give us a chance to continue to get better.
Caleb and JL both talked about identity. Now that this team is driving into the paint a little bit more, not taking as many three-point shots, how do you think they're doing with finding their identity?
Those two guys in particular?
Just the team in general.
I think I mentioned this in the deal the other day. I mean, if you told me that a weakness of this team was going to be shooting coming into the season, I would have probably laughed. We got a lot of guys who have a reputation as good shooters, and for whatever reason, I don't know if it's a line or maybe we don't have great flow from there. We haven't shot the ball very well from 3-point line this year. We have two of the top 5 returning 3-point shooters in the conference, and Thomas and Lindy. And you would think adding a guy who's got a reputation, Chris Harris, Jonathan Lawrence shot 47% from 3 last year. Cam showed the ability to make them that. All right, this team's going to be able to make shots, and it just hasn't manifested itself. Our job as a staff is to find ways to still have success. And we've done it through our defense and rebounded and trying to get to the free throw line a little bit more and driving the ball to the basket. We've got to give credit to those players for making the adjustment, though. It doesn't work if they try to fight it. They're completely bought into what we're trying to accomplish and believe that we can continue to have success moving forward if we keep playing that way.
How do you think the presence of the 1995 Final Four team affected them today?
I thought our crowd in general was terrific. It's one of the things that I'm most excited about leading this program. There's a real sense of pride in following this program and seeing it get back to where it's consistently successful. None of that's more evident than what we saw today. I don't know how many people were there, but it felt like a really, really good crowd for a team that's 2-9 in conference play, 500 this late in the year. Probably not a whole lot of public thought that we could really finish the season strong. So, there's a lot of reasons not to come to today's game. It's 12 o'clock on a Saturday. People from Oklahoma City or outside got to drive and get up early and make plans. But that they care so much is a reason I get up every day and bring everything I can to the table. The 95 team in particular gives me something to continue to reach back to for our current players and say, this is what the standard is for Oklahoma State basketball. Mr. Iba established it in the early times of our program and set the ultimate bar, right? Winning national championships. And then one of his former players, Coach Sutton, comes back and immediately gets this program back to where it's nationally relevant. So we had a chance to meet with those guys yesterday, and the only thing we told them was 2 things. We thanked them for being a part of it, for coming back, but that we would play all of our games in a way that hopefully when they're watching us or if they're here, that they'll be proud that they once wore that same uniform. And I thought it was fitting that Coach Sutton was here to see both his sons as a part of that game. And then obviously Sean, we were able to recognize him for his part in helping that team have success. So I'm really excited that they were able to see it, but that our players continue to believe in what our program was at one point, and that we can continue to work to get back there at some point in the future.
The game at Lubbock, didn't go well. What do you think changed from then to
It wasn't the final score wasn't nearly as probably indicative of how the game. The final score is what it is, right? I'm not going to say it wasn't a blowout. It was. They won by 35 points. But it's a 4-point game, the second series of the half. And we weren't ready to handle runs. It's something we've talked about in here. Our team wasn't responding to adversity within a game the right way. And so a game can go from a 4-point game to 17 within like 2 minutes because we don't know how to stop and say, all right, we need to get the ball here, or we need to make sure we're focused on the defensive end so that they don't go on a 14-0 run like they did there to get it from 4 to 17 in a short amount of time and not be able to overcome it. We're a team that's getting better. Our young guys are maturing. I think that's evident in several of their play. And at the end of the day, guys, I mean, I don't know any other way to say it, but Ice is getting healthy. I mean, that's a big part of this. If that was his second game back, he didn't have nearly the impact on that game as he did on this one, and we can't ignore that. I mean, that's a reality of what we had to deal with. It's unfortunate, but not an excuse. We need to keep getting better, but that's a reality of what happened for us.
You guys made 11 of 14 shots to start that second half. Then shots were hard to come by. How do you feel like they handled that adversity?
Yeah, again, it's something that I want to say at some point about 3 weeks ago, and it may have been after we played at Iowa State heading into our SEC Challenge game. I think our guys made a decision that we're not going to look back on games and do the woulda, coulda, shoulda deal. Win or lose. I mean, we're going to know that we gave ourselves every chance we could. And since then, save the first half in Norman, I think our guys have played the game the right way and have dealt with adversity. It's just a process of growing and understanding what that looks like in a game. And what it does is, how does it manifest itself? You miss 2 straight threes, don't shoot the third and fourth one on the next 2 possessions. Find another way to attack the other team. If one guy, and this is what happened in Norman, makes 2 threes in a row, Manny got to 5 threes before the first media at their place. It can't happen. So that was probably the only time in the last 3 weeks that we haven't responded to something in the game and been able to make the adjustment. But the credit goes to these players. These kids are playing with purpose. They're playing for each other. They're trying to go out on a positive note, and they're not looking back and having any regrets when the game's over.
A lot has been talked about coming into the season about Caleb's frame not being so big, but for him to, get to the foul line 14 times in a competitive game. What does that just say about how he's been able to work at it and maneuver through, playing in the paint?
Yeah, there's no question he has to get stronger. Right? I think that's pretty easy to determine. But he's a really good basketball player. There've been a lot of skinny guys have success playing this game. It's not like football. He's not trying to block somebody. He can catch a ball and finish around the basket. So I think too much can be made of it sometimes. For him, the whole key isn't his weight. It's just having consistency in practice. That's been the thing since the first day he was here. Can he prepare himself every day to play the game the right way? Can he show up with a good attitude, which for the most part he has, but in a way that he works hard enough that he's ready to handle what's going to come his way in the game. He's probably had his best 2 weeks of practice consistently that he's had since he's been here. And the numbers bear that out in games. He's playing with confidence, obviously. He's being able to finish around the basket. And, today he made his free throws, which is a big plus for us.
And then for JL, both of you guys talked early in the season about him kind of trying to find his fit and his role in his team. In these last couple of weeks, it looked like he's done that.
Yeah, there's perception is a lot of things, but it sometimes creates unnecessary pressure on people. So two years ago, we had a kid named Kendall Smith who came in for us as a grad transfer. Had great success. He played big in all of our big games that we won. He was a big part of it. Everybody's path isn't going to be that way. The transition for Jonathan's taking a little bit longer. He also plays a position where we got other guys already kind of established. And so finding minutes for him early when he didn't know what we were doing was a bit more of a challenge. And now he's in a groove, and we're finding ways to use him around the basket. He's got a physical presence about him. He can drive the ball and finish. And he's playing with the confidence that we need. We need to keep getting better. I'm really proud of the way he handled it, though, because as a grad transfer, you come in thinking this thing is going to be, really, really positive experience. And for him not to get off to a good start, but show up every day with a good attitude, continue to work hard, listen to our coaches, believe in what we're doing, to get to this point where he is having success is what it's all about.
Was there an expectation that Caleb was going to have as big an impact on this game as he did, or was it kind of just feeding the hot hand there towards the end?
I don't know if we went into the game thinking that he was going to score 16. I wouldn't say that. But we do know that they don't have a ton of size. So when Holyfield picks up a couple fouls, and we already know we want to try to go inside, we ramp that up even more. So even when yours out or we can't go inside to him, Well, we want to try to get the ball in the paint as much as possible. He's done a really good job of posting and sealing and finishing most of the time. And today, like I said, when they fouled him, he went to the line and for the most part made them. So I wouldn't say it was a plan, but I'm also not surprised based off of what I've seen from him in practice.
Not trying to be melodramatic or write a Disney-themed movie, but you've won 2 games since you got your first ejection as a coach. I mean, you think it had any impact at all?
I don't know. I haven't thought about it, to be honest. It's the first time it's even been brought up that way. But I think I want to make sure that the players get the credit for what they've done on the court, right? That game was over. I think it kind of sent a message to them that I'll have their back. But they've been out there and played the game for each other and for the name on the front of their jersey in a way that makes us proud of, regardless of how the end result is. We're happy that we won the games for sure. But, you know, if we don't lose again the rest of the year, right, then maybe I'll get ejected in our exhibition next year.
Caleb did get expressive. Caleb did get expressive about the '95 team, and he even said, he goes, it was important today playing for something bigger than me, playing for those guys and them being there.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for young guys, right? Yeah, we don't have any guys who were even born. I mean, that would know,
Probably have
right?
some coaches that may not have been.
Yeah. And so the reality is, we talk about those things, but then to be in those guys' presence, Keontae and Randy Rutherford spoke briefly to our team. Won't get into specifics, but to hear them talk about what it meant to them to wear the uniform, to know that people care about what they're doing, to hear those guys say, hey, we love you, we care about what you're doing, we have your back, you know, gives them another sense of confidence that they can go out freely, and if they just play as hard as they can, give unbelievable effort, and obviously everybody wants to win, but that's where it's got to start. And if you can do that consistently, and you have a good plan, you have a good process, then results will come. We always talk about it. We have to let the process dictate the results. We can't let the results dictate the process. I remember being asked a couple weeks ago if I was concerned about our team morale or where our guys were, and I don't worry about that. Not because I don't care. I have great kids who really care about the right things. I sleep not very much, but I sleep very peacefully, not worrying about guys not making good decisions or guys not caring about their teammates. So there's a sense of peace when you're coaching a good group of guys who want to work hard and do things the right way. That I think speaks to what you're talking about. Those guys want to do right by that uniform.
What was your reaction to Texas Tech honoring Eddie with those shirts?
You know, I didn't know. No one told us that it was happening, so I guess, you know, we heard it when they came out for warm-ups. You know, like, I'll go back to what I said in the beginning. Coach Beard is one of the best in the country because he's got great perspective, right? He respects the game of basketball. There's no question in any basketball coach's mind that Eddie Sutton is a Hall of Famer. And I'll be honest, they don't ever have to vote him in. I hope they do, because I'm sure for validation purposes, to end the conversation, it will be good. He's a Hall of Famer in every sense of the word as a coach, and you know, deserves that recognition. But people who know, like Chris Beard, the Texas Tech people, all the other coaches who come through here, when he's in the building, everybody makes a beeline over there before the game starts because of what he's meant to the game of basketball and college basketball in particular. So for them to do that doesn't surprise me. Just, again, you know, credit to Coach Beard for making sure that his team and program acknowledge greatness, because that's what it is.
So it's just this a bit about the '95 team, but you also had a couple of signees here that got a chance to watch this. With this win over a ranked team with this atmosphere, how important is that for them to see that you're building something?
Yeah, it's all important. Those guys, those guys don't need me to tell them that. They obviously already believe in it, and they believe that they can be a big part of the next step for us. So, you know, I'm happy for both of those young men to be able to be here and celebrate with some of their future teammates. But it's about this group right now, and that we continue to get better, or to give us an opportunity to maybe get another guy or two, because we'll need to continue to. Again, it's about roster building out, and we're still in the early stages, although it's year 3 of getting this program back where it's stable for 5, 6, 7 years, same philosophy, guys understanding what their roles are, and then going out and playing on a consistent basis against some of the best basketball in the country.
With all the important people from the program's history in the building today, was this an important win for you personally? Is that something you even think about?
Nope, not once. This isn't about me at all. It is about those former players and coaches and managers, whoever were here as alumni, and it's about these current players. And in a lot of ways, it's about our fans way before it's about me, because I don't know how long I'll get to do this. I hope I can do it forever until I can't coach anymore. But I'm just in place for a moment, right? Whatever that moment is, I don't know. Maybe 30 years. My son may play here one day. I don't know if he's good enough or not. Maybe he's just a ball boy or something. But it's about the people who put that uniform on and people who pay their money to come watch those kids play hard. And I'm just glad to be a part of it.
You guys had shot 38 free throws, only missed 7, and had 15 offensive rebounds. How big was that in being able to be in a position to win the game down the stretch?
Yeah, identity. Again, go back and we think we can be a three-point shooting team. How do we win? We go inside, we attack the paint, we get to the free throw line, and we did that at K-State the other day. I think we shot like 81% from the field, which means we were not shooting a bunch of threes, right? In the second half the other day, and today we kind of had the same game plan. And if you can be something every day, then you have a chance to build some continuity in the way you succeed.
Coach, free throw shooting can sometimes feel like a unappreciated skill. How did you feel to have those players like the Caleb Boone and the JL be able to convert those foul shots when Texas Tech on the board was struggling a bit?
Yeah, I mean, free throws is always a kind of tricky deal. If we go 19 for 38, then the question is, do you guys ever shoot free throws? And at the end of the day, it's a focus thing for me. We shoot free throws every single day in practice. We have a bunch of guys who are good free throw shooters. We don't have anybody who's a bad free throw shooter. We just don't. Now, if they're not focused on the right things, if they're not going through their routine the right way, then it's something we need to address. But sometimes the ball doesn't go in the basket, and you don't have control over that. What you have control over is that you don't get discouraged by that. You keep playing the game the right way. You don't turn the ball over unnecessarily, and then you play as good a defense as you can, because you do have control over that every single night.
Coach, during the last minute or two, you know, the steal and Caleb's block. So how proud were you of the defense in the final possessions?
Yeah, I mean that's what I hope Coach Sutton was sitting over there maybe smirking about a little bit. I know he wasn't cheering today, right? He's got a son on the other bench too, but I know he cares. He put that uniform on one day too, and what Oklahoma State basketball has always been about at its core when we've been good is to have an identity of a tough defensive team. And so to see us come up with stops when we need it and secure rebounds, I hope Pate made him proud, hope made Mr. Iber proud, hope made the 95 team proud, and all of our fans the same.
I don't know if we'll see you again before Tuesday, but is this new attack the basket something that can work against West Virginia?
I mean, we're not going to try to shoot 33s.
All right.
We're not going to do that because we know that didn't work for us last time. I'll just say that. We only made one last time we played, so we'll try something different.
Anything else, guys? Thank you.